will discuss in today's class. Okay, we are well familiar with the animals and different living organisms, how they respire. How we people respire? By using our nostrils, we just inhale the air, and by using the same nostril, we exhale the air. In the same manner, plants also contain some specific respiratory organs like stomata. Okay, we people are well familiar with stomata. If you observe a leaf of a plant, the underside of the plant, it just contains smaller pore-like structures, and that pores are called as stomata. Here these stomata also called as nose of the plant. What we are calling nose of the plant. Whenever we observe the plants, we just think that stomata only involves in the respiration, but along with the stomata, remaining parts of the plant also able to respire. Then what are such variety of plants? See here children, stomata involves in the respiration process. Along with the stomata, here lenticels. Lenticels also involves in the process of respiration. See here, whenever you observe the stem of trees or plants, we just find small holes. And these holes which are present on branches and stem of plant is called as lenticels. And these lenticels also respire. How like the stomata involved in the exchange of gases, in the same manner lenticels also able to exchange the gases. Not only lenticels, some other parts of the plant like roots, the surface of the root also able to respire. As it is containing very thin layer, the roots contains very thin layer, and that thin layer also capable to exchange gases. Okay, then see here, not only that, some other plants, they also contain some adaptations in order to respire. We will discuss later. Now see here children, whenever we see the stomata, it just opening. The opening what we are able to find underside of the plant leaf. Okay, here see the stomata is an opening and it contains a series of spaces. Okay, stomata, it is the outer opening. It may continue throughout the leaf with a series of intercellular spaces. Spaces between cells inside the plant. Okay, spaces between the cells inside the plant. These are present. It just opens with stomata. It is a small opening and it just continues throughout the plant by the help of small interspaces, what we are calling as air spaces. Okay, in the first lesson also we discussed in the TS of leaf. It contains some air spaces near to the stomata. Okay, these just form a series of spaces, and these series of spaces just continues in the form of a network. The series of spaces, they just continue in the form of a network, and this network, it just contains large in leaves. Okay. These openings or the network or the intercellular spaces are very huge in the leaf when compared with the remaining parts of the plant. If you see the stem, if you observe the roots, the intercellular spaces are somewhat smaller when compared with the leaf. In the leaf, the intercellular spaces are very large. Okay, very large. As it is the main part to involve in the respiration, the stomata, it just continues with a series of intercellular spaces, and these spaces continues as a network, and this network is very large in leaves when compared with other parts of the plant. See here, air spaces are lined. These air spaces are lined with a film of water. Okay, with a thin layer of water. If you observe here, whenever we find the air spaces, are lined with a thin layer of water. It just lined with a thin layer of water. Why it is lined with a thin layer of water? Here the plant is not capable to absorb oxygen as like human beings directly from the atmosphere. Okay, it is capable to absorb the oxygen whenever the oxygen is present in the form of dissolved form of water. Okay, that's why the air spaces they just lined with a film of water, and that water makes the oxygen to dissolve. Okay, whenever the stomata absorb the gas from the atmosphere, the air from the atmosphere, and that air contain oxygen, we all know, and that oxygen able to dissolve in the water lining which is present around the air spaces. Okay, and this dissolved oxygen used by the plant. And here very important point we have to remember, for the process of respiration, as like remaining all living things, how we are using oxygen, in the same manner plants also able to use oxygen. But for the process of photosynthesis, it just reverse. Okay, how it is reverse? It just take carbon dioxide and it releases. It vomits or it expels the oxygen gas to the atmosphere. Okay, but for the process of respiration, as like remaining all living organism, plants also capable to take oxygen. Okay, here we have to remember, for the process of respiration, plants inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. But for the process of photosynthesis, it just inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Is it clear? This point is very important in the plant respiration. Okay, like this, the water lining is very helpful to dissolve the oxygen, and that dissolved oxygen, it just transfers to different cells of the plant body. Okay, it just conducted into different cells of the plant body. See here children, whenever we talk about whenever the oxygen enter into the cell also contains certain amounts of sugars, certain amounts of nutrients. That sugars will be break down, okay, by the help of oxygen. Here the sugar, it just break down and it releases carbon dioxide along with water, little amount of water and energy in the form of heat. Okay, how like by the respiration process, how we people producing carbon dioxide, water and energy, in the same manner plant, in the inside the cell of the plant also the same process happen. Whenever the oxygen enter into the cell, then the cell able to break down the glucose or any kind of sugar into carbon dioxide, water, and it also releases energy. Okay, is it clear? Like that, respiration takes place inside the plant body. And here we also need to discuss all this process of respiration takes place by a simple way, by a simple method, that is diffusion. And we also studied about this diffusion in unicellular animals like amoeba. Multicellular animals like Hydra and Planaria also use diffusion process for their respiration. In the same manner, plants also follow the same method for their respiration. Okay, is it clear? And at the same time, whenever oxygen enter into the plant body, then it may create some gradient. It may rise some gradient. Here gradient is nothing but a type of pressure may increased. And it also, whenever the pressure increases between the cells, then the oxygen supplied to all cells of the plant. And the process of respiration takes place, and it may release more amount of carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide will be eliminated from the plant body, will be exhaled by the plant body. Again, another variety of gradient may develop in between this air spaces. and between the cells of the plant body. Okay. First, whenever the concentration of oxygen increases in the plant cell, it may develop one variety of gradient or pressure, and whenever the carbon dioxide levels are increasing in the plant body, in order to exhale that carbon dioxide to outside atmosphere, they just also develop another variety of pressure. In the same manner, how the air is entering into the plant body, in the same manner, in reverse, the carbon dioxide is eliminated from the plant body. Okay, is it clear? Like this, respiration takes place inside the plant body. But what about the plants? Here, by this studying the respiration in plants, you may understand that not only the stomata, the stem capable to perform the process of respiration, the root capable to perform the process of respiration. Then, as the stem is present above the ground, it is very easy to perform the process of respiration. What about roots? How they get the air? We all know that the soil particles also contain air. The space between the soil particles is just filled with air, and that air will be absorbed by the roots. As they contain very thin layers, outer covering, they are capable to absorb the air also along with the water. Then what about the plants which are growing in marshy areas, muddy areas, in wet lands? Are they capable to get sufficient air? No. In order to survive in such conditions, like near to the shores of the ponds, rivers, lakes, oceans, seas, the plant may grow near to the shores of these water resources. Then how can they grow? Because they contain hollow stems, a adaptation called as hollow stem. Okay, whenever the plants contain hollow stems, they are capable to respire. They are able to do the process of respiration. Okay, the hollow stems are able to perform the process of respiration, and roots, they also support the stem. Then what about mangrove plants? You heard the word mangrove plants, mangrove trees in your 9th class also. These are a special varieties of trees, and they may grow in marshy areas where the soil doesn't contain any air. In order to survive in such conditions, the plant able to adapt one variety of roots which may grow above the soil. They just extend towards the sky. Means here, in order to respire, the roots may grow above the soil, not under the soil. Some variety of roots may grow into the soil, and more roots, they just come out of the soil, and such variety of roots are called as aeration roots or aerial roots or adventitious roots, and these roots are also called as breathing roots. Why we are calling them as breathing roots? As they are capable to exchange of gases. They involve in the process of exchange of gases. We call such kind of process as respiration as normal, and at the same time the roots which are capable to do the gaseous exchange by growing above the soil is called as breathing roots. Such variety of roots are called as breathing roots. Okay, and these aerial roots are one of the adaptation for the plants which may grow in wet lands and in the marshy areas, muddy lands. It is a well-developed adaptation for the survival of the plant, and the plants also show hollow stems. Whenever you go to marshy areas, then you observe the stems and roots of the plant. Then you are able to understand how plants adapt, how plants survive in such conditions. Okay, this is about respiration in plants. Okay, I'll meet you soon. Till then, stay curious and keep learning. Thank you for watching.